Hi, everyone. I'm Esperanza Zenon. I'm a physical science professor at River Parishes Community College in Gonzales, Louisiana. Today, I'm going to share some information on a grant project that I participated in through the Louisiana Library System, LOUIS, and the Department of Education, DOE. The project involved developing a dual enrollment physical science course using open content, OER. So here's the agenda. I'll share some information on the grant project. We'll look at the course description, the press book that we developed, the Moodle course. I'll talk about the review process, the importance of accessibility, and the course that I'm currently piloting. So this dual enrollment physical science course was developed as part of the Interactive OER for Dual Enrollment project. And this was funded through a FIPSI grant from the Department of Education. The Louisiana Library System, LOUIS, served as the grant manager. So I'm curious to know if any of you are utilizing a similar funding stream to support developing dual enrollment courses. And in particular, I'm interested to know if you're developing dual enrollment utilizing open content, OER. So drop me a line or a comment or reach out to me via email and share any information that you might have regarding how you're currently tackling developing dual enrollment courses. So here is the course description. So the statewide Common Course description for Physical Science 1 involves surveying concepts in physics and chemistry. At my institution, we use the course numbering system PHSC 1010. Additional description is provided so that the topic areas are kind of listed out or enumerated. So things like motion, electricity, magnetism, introductory chemistry like balancing equations, periodicity, uh, atomic and molecular structure are all part of this course, as well as some other areas that you see listed. So we basically focus on introductory physics and chemistry. This is the press book that we developed, Exploring the Physical World, an updated and expanded introduction to the physical sciences. So we took a textbook that was in existence, and an OER, an openly licensed textbook. And what we did was we modified some of the topic content and we added some additional resources to the textbook. So let's see if we can get into the textbook. I may have to stop the share just briefly, and once this comes up, and then reshare so you can actually see the website. So just bear with me. Okay. Now I'll share again. Okay, so this is the actual textbook that we developed. I keep saying we, there's a team of us, myself, James Buffenmeyer, Mustafa Elisar, and Shirley Vides. We all work together to develop the content, to develop this press book, to develop the Moodle course, to support this dual enrollment physical science course. And so you can see that this textbook was created with a CC BY license, non-commercial, meaning you can't use it to make money or you can't make a profit off of it. There's a download capacity for the book in case the student or user wants to have that. And also, we'll see once we get into the book, there's some additional items that we added. So let's take a look at one of the chapters. So this is basically the introduction, kind of outlining some of the resources that are available. And as you can see that, we also relicensed this under a Creative Commons license, the same license that the original content was developed under. So let's take a look at we'll take a look at the first chapter. They're all organized a bit similarly, but I'll highlight some key features of the actual chapter. So one of the nice things is that we, right up front, list the objectives. And you notice that numbering system accompanying each learning objective. I'll talk a bit more about what that represents when we get to the review process. And then you go into the content. Now, there is a glossary that accompanies this textbook. In this particular chapter, there aren't any highlighted or linked to items, but in some of the other chapters, some keywords are linkable to the glossary so that students can go and take a look at, definition, if they need to do that. Also, another thing that we did add to the textbook was, see if I can scroll down and get to it for you, are these links to learning, as well as these H5P activities where the student can do a quick check of their understanding. Those items were not part of the original textbook. That's why we said we expanded it. And then, we kind of massaged some of the content to better represent what we thought belonged in an introductory physical science course. So I'm gonna stop the share here regarding the textbook because every other chapter is laid out similarly. So I'll stop the share here regarding the textbook, and then I'll reshare and get back into my presentation. So thank you for indulging me while I, make that swap. Okay, so the next thing is the actual Moodle course. So let's see if we can actually get into that course. And once again, I'll probably have to stop the share briefly and get into that. So let me stop the share, and now I'll reshare and bring you here. Okay. So that's the actual Moodle course. So you see there's a welcome, the course description, and here are those items that you saw the numbering for in the chapter 1 in the objectives. So these are what we call our course learning outcomes, and they're numbered so that in any given chapter, you can see how the chapter objectives reach back and support the course learning outcomes or course objectives. Information on navigating the course. All of these kind of administrative items are customizable. There is a template that the adopter can go in and tailor to their needs. Information on academic resources, technical support kind of resources can be customized, but we gave a template so that they can update those, have a basis or a base level of information provided. Then we have a getting started information, which basically kind of, reminds the student of certain things that they need to be doing on a regular basis. The syllabus is provided. They're required to introduce themselves. And then just a general Q&A forum for, general kinds of questions. A section where some instructor resources are provided. And then we get into the actual content. So for each learning module, there's a chapter outline provided, which shows the topic areas that'll be dealt with. And you'll find those items kind of bolded and enumerated in the textbook. These are the same objectives that you saw in the green box for chapter 1. Notice that numbering, now you know that those numbers represent the course learning outcomes that the student will be, hopefully mastering along the way. So you can see how each unit objective maps to the course level outcomes or objectives. And then we give a sequencing regarding the activities. So we're basically telling the student, if you want to achieve the chapter objectives, you need to complete these materials in this order, for example. And then you get into the actual resources and activities. So here's a link to that press book, chapter 1. And then there's an assignment that goes along with that. There's a discussion. There's a video assignment where they watch a video and then they have to, answer some questions, do some summarizing. And then there's an activity assignment that typically involves some type of simulator or simulation. And then a report assignment where they write a report on that particular simulation. So every module is laid out like that. The only modules that are a bit different, and I'll take you down and show you that, are the exam module. So here's an example of the midterm exam module. And so we lay out all of the instructions, the objectives that the student needs to, is trying to achieve. The steps that they need to follow in order to achieve those objectives. We provided the instructor with some various resources for creating their own exam, and we provided a sample exam. They can utilize all or none of these items, but at least we provided, and we did a similar thing for the final exam. Okay. So that's a brief introduction to the actual Moodle course. So I'll stop the share here and go back into my presentation. Again, thank you for indulging me while I made that swap. So to ensure that the course that we built met certain design parameters, maintain certain standards, we use the Quality Matter to review the course. So if you're familiar at all with Quality Matters, Quality Matters has 8 standards. One of the key aspects of Quality Matters is alignment. In other words, you must have measurable course objectives. You must have measurable module level objectives, and those module level objectives must align with and support the course objectives. That's why we utilize the numbering system. But not only that, if you go into any assessment, assignment, and even the tools and resources that we use, you must clearly show evidence of how they support the overall achievement of the module level objectives and then the course level objectives. So there must be alignment throughout the course objectives, the module objectives, the assessments, the assignments, the tools that are being used. Just to be clear, Quality Matters does not specify how the course should be delivered, but it does speak to how the course is designed to make sure, there's some quality control in place. An important aspect of Quality Matters is assessment. That's standard number 8. And I like Moodle in that there's an accessibility checker provided in Moodle so that you know if you have some accessibility issues. In order to successfully pass Quality Matters review, you must have zeros in the key areas that it checks for accessibility. So your images must have alt text. You must utilize good layout, meaning, white space is adequate. Titles, headings, those types of things are used properly. All links must have meaningful text and not just the URL specified. Videos must have captioning or transcripts provided. Tables must specify reading order in terms of the um, row and column headings. And then you must use text appropriately, meaning you don't use any colors that or fonts that could create issues for screen readers. So in order for our course to successfully pass, we must have 0 errors in all of those areas, and you can see that specified here. I didn't just create a picture with zeros. If you actually go into the Moodle course, you'll see that, we actually, made sure that everything was accessible um, in the course according to these items. And so this semester I'm piloting the course, so I'll briefly take you out and let you see what that course looks like. Let me open it up and then I'll um, share that with you. I've got to log in, so just give me a moment. Okay, so I'll stop the share and now reshare so that we can take a look at the actual course that I'm piloting. So this is the actual physical science course. You'll notice right from the start that the layout looks a bit different because we're utilizing Canvas. And my college, River Parishes, has certain guidelines and design requirements that we must meet. And so that's why it looks a little bit different. We have a landing page, whereas the Moodle course, you jump right into, kind of module layout. Now we do utilize modules in this course, and you'll see here are the modules. There's some administrative information that we are required to provide. So, it is available in our kind of open and introductory modules. There's a syllabus acknowledgement in this course that I didn't have to have in the Moodle course. Some information about general navigation. So you'll see a lot of the same topic areas are provided here. Links to support, whether it be technical support, academic support is also provided. So basically, I took a lot of those templates that were being utilized in the Moodle course and customized them to make available in this course. Also, adding those additional items that my college requires. Course resources. And so you see, things like the schedule that is germane for this course, whereas in the Moodle course, the person who adopts the course would have to provide a schedule. And then, some basic resources like some useful links and websites, just some general resources, math review, that kind of thing. This course uses responders for proctoring. We didn't have to specify any proctoring in the Moodle course. Getting started module, basically you can see some of the same items that you saw in the Moodle course, like the introduction module where students introduce themselves. And then you get into the actual learning modules. So I'll provide an overview, some reference materials, the press book. So you can see my course has some additional reference materials in addition to the press book, some other tools and practice materials. And then you see the assignments, the discussion, the video assignment, the simulation activity assignment, and the report assignment that were all represented in the Moodle course. So you can see my module has a few more items compared to those in the Moodle course, but the adopter has that right. They can use only the items we provided. They can use more than the items we provided, or they can opt to not use what we provided and substitute something that they like better. Right? So let me stop the share and then I'll go back into the presentation. I do apologize for all the swapping around, but I want to make sure that you could actually see the items that were provided and developed. So that's basically the course that, information on the course that we developed. Let me just go back. I'll go back to the introductory slide and put my contact information up on the screen for you. So as I mentioned, if you are in the process of building a dual enrollment physical science course and you want to reach out to me, feel free. If you're wanting to adopt this course, reach out to me. I'll make sure that you have access to it. If there are funding sources or resources that you're using that you don't see represented in what I've built, please feel free to share. I'm always looking for good content, especially open content. And so if you have any questions for me, please feel free to drop me a comment or reach out to me. I'm always happy to engage. So thank you for joining me, and hopefully you found something here useful. Take care.